Nintendo's Switch 2 reveal didn't go the way many expected it would, primarily due to inflated price points. Now the company is doing damage control and they seem to be standing their ground, effectively justifying the costs by simply saying the products are worth the asking price. The Switch 2 Welcome Tour software was one such sore spot. Fans didn't take too well to the fact that a welcome software designed to show what the hardware does has to be purchased. Initially estimated to cost around $6, turns out it'll be $9.99. According to Nintendo of America's Vice President of Product and Player Experience, Bill Trinan, quote, "There's more to Welcome Tour than it appears. This feels like $9.99 and it's not an exorbitant price. It feels like a good value for what you're getting out of the product. There's a lot of great detail in there. For some people, I think there are people who are particularly interested in the tech and the specs of the system and things like that. For them, I think it's going to be a great product. It's really for people that want more information about the system rather than necessarily a quick intro to everything it does." Okay, what exactly is the difference between an intro to what the system does and more information about the system? How is that not the same thing? Either way, people who buy the system should have limitless in-depth detail about the system they bought without having to pay any amount of additional money. And you mean to tell me that there is more to be gained out of this Welcome Tour than what Wii Sports had to offer? You know, that free little pack-in game with bowling, basketball, tennis, golf, and boxing that made the system appealing to people of all ages across all interests without the need to buy any other games? That has to be what you're saying, right? Because Wii Sports was a free pack-in and Welcome Tour is not. So it has to be better, right? More valuable, right? When addressing the price increase for Mario Kart World and the Switch 2 Enhanced games, now $80, Trinan said, quote, "What I would say is that we just look at each individual game and we look at the content and value of that game. And then we say, what is the right price for the value of this entertainment? Our general approach is really just focus on what's the content, what's the value, and what's an appropriate price based on that. This is why game prices vary so wildly from $40 to $80. This could mean we'll see games that cost more than $80 in the future if Nintendo deems the content to be worth it." This is a horrible take. How do you even gauge what's worth what price? Are open world games more expensive than linear games? What about games with tons of characters like Smash Bros. Ultimate? How about games you just think you did a really good job on? What are those worth? It's absurd. On a more positive note, Nintendo did clarify one huge concern in regards to Switch 2 Enhanced games. During the influx of news during the reveal, it was said that these upgraded Switch games would simply contain the Switch 1 version of the game with a download to upgrade it to the Switch 2 version. Turns out this is not the case. Switch 2 Enhanced games will include all the content on a Switch 2 cartridge, which, let's be real, should absolutely be the case. These things are $80. However, Nintendo did say that in some cases, games would come in the form of a digital code inside of a box. So there's that. And that's likely to be the case more and more frequently as time goes on.